Hi, good morning, everyone. It's in this section. So we are going to look into that one more important concept that's from the Linux, that is wildcard characters. Yeah. What is the purpose and when do we use it, and what is the importance of this? Yes. Like before understanding that, suppose let's talk at some scenarios where you are doing that. Like you need to copy the files, or you need to remove the files, or you need to list the files with this applying there some specific patterns in the sense like you need to you need to copy that all the files which are having that .txt extension, or you need to or you need to remove that files which are having the file extensions or file names which starts with a, or you need to remove that all the log files which are having the some patterns. Yeah, then whenever you are setching the files, that is listing or copying or moving or removing, instead of applying this entire directory level, so directory contains so many files, right? But within that directory, only the some specific files you need to filter it on the basis of some patterns, and then after finding that, then you need to remove that or copy it or move it. The particular action you need to perform it. But how do we filter the files from the directories? So which are having this the some specific base like alphabet based, or like a numeric based, or alphanumeric, or file extensions, or file lengths based. Yeah, how do you work with that? All that activities is yes. So that is going to helpful that the concept from the Linux, that is wildcards. Yeah, it is not just only for the Linux. It is going to helpful for this different programming languages. Even for if you go for the Java and the Python, yes, we have this concept, wildcard characters concept. Yeah, the first let's try to understand what are the different wildcards are available on the Linux, and then we see this like with the demonstration. How do we use it? Those wildcards with some sample data. Yeah, so wildcards. Yes, what we are going to understand this is yes, what is wildcard, and when and where exactly those are going to help with that these wildcards, and what are the different types of the wildcards are available, and how to use it these wildcards with various commands. Yeah, these are all the main objectives which we are going to look into that from this section. First of all, usage of this wildcards, if you'd like to understand it. Yes, a character or a string used for pattern matching. Yeah, the wildcards are also as a the characters or the strings. Like we have the asterisk, we have a question mark, or we have this square brackets, and within the square brackets we can define with the character-based classes. Yeah, these are all also as a character or strings which are helping about it to apply the patterns, the matched patterns on the file names or the directory names. Yeah, they're all helping about it. Globbing expands the wildcard pattern into a list of files and our directories. So they're all helping us to filter it, especially which we can say the filter option. Yeah, you'll be having the so many files like within the logs folders point of view, within the configuration files point of view, or runtime files point of view. But you need to filter that only some specific files. You need to select it and you need to move to that other directories. Yeah, the files on the directories you need to apply that. Then how do you use it? Yeah, the wildcards can be used in most of the commands. That is, if you are going to use it, ls command, or rm command, or cp command, or move commands. Yeah, the list of all the files based whenever we are talking that grouping wise, group operations wise to perform that. And within that group, if you like to filter it or search it, the some specific files or folders, then we can use it this wildcard characters. But what are the different wildcard characters are available from the Linux? Yeah, already we are using this in some of the patterns. Maybe if you remember that in the previous examples or sections, yes, asterisk is one of the character we are using that. Yes, what is the asterisk meaning that? It matches 0 or more characters. Yes, that could be one character or two or n number of characters, and that could be alphabets with caps letter or lowercase letters or uppercase letters or the digital combination. That could be anything. Length from the 0 to n, and characters that could be A to Z, either uppercase or lowercase, or it should contain the special characters, or it should contain the digitals, that is numeric. Yes, all that it is supporting by that, the asterisk notation. Suppose example, if you just observe that. Yeah, what is the meaning of that asterisk.txt? So if you understand that's the meaning of this one asterisk.txt, that represents file extension must be .txt, but file name that could be any file name, right? Whether that file name like a.txt or abc.txt or xyz.txt, it doesn't matter. That file name that could be any name, and file name length or number of characters in that file name, that could be any number or any characters, or it should be 123.txt. It doesn't matter. That asterisk is supporting any pattern, and we are given that asterisk as a postfix point of view, that is .txt. Like that means all the .txt file extensions. And what is the meaning of that asterisk? Yeah, the whatever the files it is going to list it, the file name it has to start with a. But extension that could be any extension, or the length of that the file name that could be any length of the characters, doesn't matter that. But file name it has to start with a. That is the meaning of that a asterisk. A asterisk dot txt. Yeah, what is the meaning of that? All the files which are having this .txt extension, and the file name it has to start with the a. File name has to start with a, but file length, name of the file length, that could be any character, doesn't matter that, but file extension must be .txt, and the file has to start with a. That is the meaning of that a asterisk .txt. Yeah, so there are some examples understanding asterisk point of view. Yes, asterisk is one of the wildcard characters. Like that, if you go to this and observe that the question mark is another one. So out of this question mark, asterisk, we are saying that there is no specific length on it, and there is no specific on the character or digital or uppercase or lowercase, that could be anything. But question mark is going to helpful that the particular the position in which position you have mentioned the question mark, that single character it is going to specify that any character. Like example, if you just observe that question mark .txt, then what is the meaning of that? What is the file name length? Extension must be .txt, but what is the file name length? The file name length must be single character. That could be A to Z or 0 to 9. That doesn't matter that, but the file name must be single character. That is a.txt or xz.txt, like that, any name, but single character. Then what is the meaning of that? This one, a question mark. What is the length of the file name here? Yeah, the length of the file name is only 2 characters. That is a, and the second character, that could be any character, but first character must be a, and the total file length must be 2 characters, and within that first character a. That is the meaning of this one. Yeah, question mark is representing that in which position you have marked that. So now here if we just observe that, so it has been marked the question mark in the second position. The second position, any character, but first position of the character, that must be a. Second character, that could be anything, and here only one character. The file name must have that's only one character, but that file name any character, that could be any character. So asterisk is matches 0 or more characters, and question mark matches exactly one character. And what is the meaning of that here? The file name is 2 characters and extension should be .txt. Extension should be .txt. The file name length 2 character. This is 1 character, this second character, 2 characters length. Second character, that could be any character, but first character must be A. So that is the meaning of that. A question mark dot text. Yes, in the single character position, if you are yeah. Yeah, in the single character position, so if you have that like any character to replace that while searching time, then we can use it the question mark. And if you have this like file names and I mean 0 or more characters or any characters if you would like to match it, then we can use it. Yeah, is it audible to you all? Yeah, so I have this network lost. Yeah, fine. Yeah, asterisk matches, there is 0 or more characters within the files or directories whenever we are searching, and question mark which represents exactly one character. And we have like one more notation of the character classes that we can call it as, I mean, wildcards. What do we call that? Says character classes. What do these character classes is? Suppose in that particular third character position, I need to look into that only alphabets. So third character position that must be alphabet, or third character position that must be numeric. Then how I can specify that? With the question mark I cannot specify it, right? Question mark is either alphabet or numeric, it is going to return that. But within that single character position, now we have one more requirement. I need to look at that only alphabets, or I need to look at that only I mean the numeric representations, or some like the range of the characters. If it is matched in that range, okay, that's fine. Match it. So if you have this kind of in the single character position, the particular I mean alphabets, there is lowercase or uppercase or numeric representations. If you are expecting about it matching patterns, then we can use it this character classes. But how to define this character classes is, yes, the character classes which will be defined within the square brackets. Yeah, the first one is asterisk, second one is question mark, third one is character classes, that is square brackets. Yeah, within the square brackets we can define that. But what is the advantage defining this is, within the square brackets if I define what are the characters, then in that single character position it is going to try to match it to that character. Yeah, it matches any of the characters included between the brackets. Yes, between the brackets, what are the characters you have included? It is going to search the pattern whenever it is applying, exactly matching of that with the brackets, what are the characters you have specified, only to those characters. It is going to return that the files which are matched. And it is supporting that one character or multiple characters. Yes, it matches to that only one character. Suppose what is the meaning of that? This one, if you see this example, AEIOU, that means the characters like it is supporting. If it is vowel, it is there, then it is going to match it. Either A, R, E, R, I, R, O, R, U. That is a combination. Either one of the character. Suppose C is there in that position. No, it is not going to match it. Yeah, AEIOU. So that is like exactly the vowels representation matching. And what is the meaning of that here? Suppose, yes, the combination, if you just observe that. In this example, the first two letters must be CA. Third character position. So this is character class, single character also, right? I mean, the character also it is supporting single character position. Third character, either N you can have or T you can have it. That means the possible answers CAN. And after the CAN, again asterisk it is different. That means it could be like other characters, the postfix. Or CAT cat, or CAN can, or CANDY candy. Third character is N. Third character must be either N or T. And first two character must be CA. And after the third character, you can have thus the 4 or 5 or 6 n number of characters as asterisk which is defined. This is a combination of multiple wildcard characters. Yeah, the possible mapping can, yes, that is going to match it. Cat, yes, that is also fine. CAT, third character, either N or T. Or candy or catch. So yeah, either candy, yes, third character N, and after that any characters because asterisk it is there. Third character T, yes, catch, yes, it is going to match it. Yeah, so the particular single character position, if you are looking about that, the specific characters or specific integers, then you can use it these character classes. But how to define the character classes is within the square brackets, what are the characters you would like to match it, those characters you can define it. But this, this character class is supporting that the single character position match exactly only one character. And if you observe that within this character class, we can reverse off. Yeah, they're like a not operator. Not operator is nothing but if it is the true, not to true is nothing, that is a false, right? Not to false is nothing but to true. That is the inverse of it. Yes, within the character classes, whenever you are matching the patterns, we can apply that not symbol also. Yeah, the not symbol notation, that is exclamator, matches any of the characters not included between the brackets. Suppose, example. And it is also matching exactly only one character as a character class representation. Suppose, what is the meaning of that here? So the single character position, which has defined normally AEIOU. AEIOU is nothing but vowels, right? So the first character, is it going to have the vowel or consonant? Which one is it is going to match it? So here within the brackets we have defined A, E, I, O, U as vowels, but and finally we have marked with a not. That means other than these characters or alphabets. What about other than these alphabets? Are consonants. That means the first character of the word or file name or directory name must be consonant. Either it should be C, yes it is okay, B it is okay, or D is okay, remaining of vowels. And that could be after that asterisk, yes, the first character must be consonant and after that it could be any characters. Yes, example, the first character is B, it is supporting that. Baseball, yes. Cricket, yes. But first character should not, first character it should not be vowel. Suppose X is there. Is it going to return that the result? No. Because you are inversing of that the character classes which are defined, that is by using not operator. We'll see this, we'll observe some examples. I'll look into that anyway, that will come back to this. Yeah, so far if you just observe that asterisk, question mark, character classes with the square brackets, you can define it, and within that square brackets with the not operator you can define it, that is inverse of those characters. That means other than those characters, if you are going to match it within the patterns, then you can use it the not operator. And we have one more thing, that is ranges. Also we can use it within the wildcards whenever you are searching that. So you can define that ranges also. Ranges in the sense, suppose I have defined one file name in the third character. I didn't remember exactly. That is 3 I have defined, 4 I have defined, 5 I have defined. That means either 3 or 4 or 5. Then I can define the range, that is 3 to 5. The character which is matched either 3 or 4 or 5. Ranges also we can define it. So each two characters separated by a hyphen. How to define the ranges? The first character should have, last character should have. Between the characters you need to just map it, that right? That is with hyphen. How do you define is? So yes, this is a character class which is defined with the range. What is the range? Starting from that A and ending to that G. Yes, in this first character, between that A to G, any character if it is matched, then it is going to filter that. It is going to just matching that pattern. And after the first character, that could be any characters or any length. That doesn't matter that. So what is the meaning of here? It is, it matches all the files that starts with either A or B or C or D or E or F or G. You don't need to specify that all the characters. So we can use it a range notation also, range. But how do you define the range? A hyphen G. Suppose A to Z. A to Z, if I define that, any alphabet, or 0 to 9, any numeric. So within the character classes, we can use it to these ranges also. Or if I may have only two characters, then you don't need to define the range. Then you can use it just simply AB. Yeah, that is on the base of the requirement. Then what is the meaning of here 3 to 6? In the file or a directory, the first character must be either 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Yeah, so this is like a ranges wise we can define it. So if we just conclude it, asterisk we have, question mark we have, character classes we have. Within the character classes, yes, you can define the particular characters to map it, or range wise we can define it, or inverse of those characters we can define it by using the not operator. Yeah, if I just conclude it, all that points, let me yeah, so what we are trying to mention, asterisk, that is any characters or any length, so it doesn't matter that. Question mark is nothing but single character. And then which we have this the character classes. This is also single character. So within this question mark, the single character is nothing but either alpha or a numeric. That means altogether it is supporting that A to Z small letters, or it should be A to caps letters, or it can be used 0 to 9, any one of that. But single character question. But character classes. What is the advantage of the character classes? I can control it to specific characters, right? Yes, suppose if I define that example within this something AC. What is the meaning of that is? In that character position, either A or C. If it is any other than that, then it is not going to match it. Yeah, we can specify that the specific characters, and within the specific character, I don't want other than AC. I would like to match it other than AC. Then I can use it not of AC. That means in that character position, it should not be either A or C. Remaining any one of that, that's fine. Match it or find it. That is not. So character classes with not. And one more option which you are understanding, range. So I need to look into that, the character, anything which is matched between that something D to H. Yes, either D or E, F, G, H, only those characters if it is matched in that particular character quotient, then the such string is going to match that particular pattern, right? And here also I can use it. Not of this. Not of this is nothing but other than D, E, F, G, H. Remaining any alphabets or any character. But it should not be D, it should not be H, or it should not be E, F, G, like that. Yeah, asterisk, question mark, single character position, characters you can define it, and then not with that is inverse of those characters you can define it while matching this or finding the strings. And one more point what do you have this is we have the character classes. Let me just conclude that one also. So character classes. What about this character classes is named character classes. Yes, named character classes. Instead of saying that A to Z, I can define use these named classes. That means alpha. So within that double square brackets between the colon, if I define that alpha, that means that character. This is also single character position. Then there is alphabet, any one of that alphabet. But I would like to map it only uppercase or the lower case. I can use it lower, or uppercase. I can use it upper, or I need to use it alphabets or numeric. That means any one of that, either alphabet or numeric. Then all number we can use it. Only digits I can define it. Only lower case. The space if I would like to define that, or uppercase if I would like to define it. Yes, I can use it to these character classes also. So that means in that character position, if I define that upper, then upper alphabet, if it is there, then it is going to match the pattern. Otherwise, it is going to skip that. Or lower, if I define it, yes, only lower case, it is going to look into that. If I define alphabet, either lower or uppercase, it is going to refer that. Yeah, so there are the main different named classes which are available. The very important whenever we are working with that, searching the strings or copying the files or moving the files. Yes, these patterns are going to help in that. And last but not the least, we have this one more wildcard character, this which we understand is that is escape character. Escape. So some of whenever we are working with that the text patterns, we have asterisk, question mark. These are all like special characters, right? On the Linux shell, they're all special characters. If I use it question mark within the string, question mark is going to consider as a single character position. But I would like to use it in my file name question mark. How I can use it? I need to search that all the files which are having that or which are ending with question mark. Can I do that? But normally question mark is a special character. So if you would like to use that question mark instead of as a wildcard character, as a normal character, instead of that wildcard character as a normal character. Normal is normal question mark as a regular usage. Then you can use it escape. Like example, if you just observe that, yes, if I use it asterisk escape character with a question mark, what is the meaning of that is nothing but search all the files. The file name that could be anything, but file must end with a question mark. That is the meaning over there. Yeah, match all the files that end with a question mark. But if I directly give that asterisk question mark, asterisk is one wildcard character, question mark is another wildcard character, right? But here I need to use it asterisk as a character, not a wildcard character. Normal like alphabet character, I need to use it. Yeah, then use it just to prefix with escape character. Then interpreter, it is not going to use this as a wildcard character, it is going to use it as a normal character. Yeah, like this, done. Yes, the question mark which we have the ending. Yeah, so that's about important things which are required to understand it whenever you are searching the files or listing the files or copying or moving. And if you'd like to update the filters on the basis of the names or digits or length of the file names, then we can use it these wildcard characters. The overall is asterisk, question mark, character classes, named character classes, range based character classes, and inversion of the character classes. Yes, these are all some important character. Wildcard special characters are available from the Linux, which are helping during the string patterns whenever you are applying string search patterns whenever you are applying. We can use it these wildcard characters. Yeah, so that's about understanding about the wildcard characters. Yes, in the next section, we'll see this some demonstration or some examples with that. Yeah, that's all from this section. Yeah, thank you.